Did you know that something could be moving around inside your body without you even realizing it? That's right. Intestinal worms are more common than you might think and can cause symptoms that you might mistake for other problems. Unexplained abdominal pain, constant nausea, unexplained weight loss, and even uncomfortable itching. These signs can be warning signs that something is wrong. In today's video, we'll reveal the most common symptoms of worm infestation and how you can identify them before they become a serious problem. Stay tuned, because what you'll discover could change the way you think about your health. Have you ever stopped to think about how some of the health problems you face could be caused by something as small as a worm? Sounds scary, but it's a reality for many people around the world. Intestinal worms are parasites that can invade your digestive system and cause a series of problems that range from mild discomfort to more serious conditions. These worms can vary in size and type, but they all have one thing in common. They feed on the nutrients that should be helping you stay healthy and energized. Imagine having constant abdominal pain, feeling nauseous, or, even worse, noticing that you're losing weight for no apparent reason. These are signs that we often associate with less serious problems, but they can be symptoms of a worm infestation. For many people, the thought of having worms may seem extreme or rare, but the truth is that it's a more common problem than we think. They can affect anyone, regardless of age or social status. Have you ever felt that persistent abdominal pain, as if something was pressing or hurting inside you, and you didn't know exactly what it could be? Sometimes, this pain can be much more than just indigestion or gas. It could be a sign that intestinal worms are taking up residence in your body. These parasites, despite being tiny, can cause immense discomfort and completely change your daily life. When worms lodge in your intestines, they start moving around and feeding on the nutrients you should be absorbing. Imagine how uncomfortable it must be to have something moving around inside you, causing pain and irritation. Abdominal pain can vary greatly. It can be a sharp pain that comes on suddenly, a constant feeling of discomfort, or even a pain that comes and goes, depending on the type and number of worms present. Often, abdominal pain caused by worms is not easily identifiable as being caused by this specific problem and can be confused with other conditions. This is because worms can cause inflammation in the lining of the intestine and even block areas of the digestive tract, resulting in intense pain. You may feel a pressure that seems to never end, or that feeling of being always full, even after eating only a little. If you have experienced this type of pain and have not found a clear explanation, it is important to consider that worms may be the cause. The discomfort may be more noticeable after meals or at night, when the worms are most active. The important thing is to pay attention to the signals your body is sending you and not ignore them. This type of pain can be a warning sign that you should seek medical help and find out the real cause of your suffering. Have you ever had that uncomfortable feeling of nausea that seems to never end and wondered where it comes from? Or perhaps you have experienced the unpleasant situation of vomiting without being able to identify a clear cause. These symptoms, although common, can be signs of something deeper and more uncomfortable than just poor digestion. When intestinal worms are present in your gastrointestinal tract, they can be the cause of these discomforts. Imagine how difficult it would be to deal with the constant feeling of nausea, where the simple act of eating something can trigger a cycle of nausea and vomiting. Intestinal worms can cause exactly that. They move around inside your digestive tract, causing irritation and inflammation. This irritation can cause your body to react, triggering an impulse of nausea, as if your stomach were trying to expel something that shouldn't be there. Additionally, worms release toxins that can affect the way your body feels and functions. These toxins can make you feel generally unwell, making nausea worse. In some cases, this irritation and the constant presence of worms can cause your body to react even more intensely, leading to episodes of vomiting. It is important to know that these symptoms should not be ignored. If you are dealing with persistent nausea or frequent vomiting and cannot find a clear explanation, intestinal worms may be a possible cause. The feeling of constant nausea and difficulty keeping food down may be telling you that something is wrong, and that you need to seek medical help for an accurate diagnosis and appropriate treatment. Have you noticed that you are losing weight without knowing exactly why? This can be a very worrying situation, especially when there is no clear explanation, such as changes in diet or increased physical activity. Losing weight for no apparent reason can be a sign that something is wrong, and surprisingly, intestinal worms may be behind it. When intestinal worms are infesting your system, they compete directly with your body for the nutrients you ingest. Imagine that you are eating well, trying to maintain a balanced diet, but still see the scale going down. This happens because the worms feed on the nutrients that should be sustaining you, and this competition can result in unexpected weight loss. It's as if they are stealing what is yours and preventing your body from getting what it really needs. In addition to weight loss, other symptoms can appear and make the situation worse. You may start to notice a decrease in your appetite, which may be a reflection of the discomfort or the presence of these parasites. Weakness is also common, as without the necessary nutrients, your body becomes more tired and less able to carry out its normal activities. The feeling of weakness can become so intense that even simple everyday tasks become challenging. It is important that you pay attention to these signs. If you are experiencing unexplained weight loss, loss of appetite, or weakness, these could be symptoms of a worm infestation. These signs should not be ignored, as they may indicate that your body is facing a serious problem that needs attention. Seeing a doctor is essential to get the necessary tests done and determine the exact cause of your weight loss, as well as to begin the appropriate treatment to deal with the worm infestation if applicable. Understanding what is happening to your body is the first step to regaining your health and well-being. Have you ever experienced a sudden change in your bowel habits, such as diarrhea or constipation, and you can't figure out why? These changes can be more than just a passing discomfort. They can be signs that something more serious is going on in your digestive system. When intestinal worms enter the picture, they can completely disrupt the functioning of your intestines, resulting in symptoms that affect your daily routine. Imagine the frustration of dealing with constant bouts of diarrhea, where you feel like you can't walk away from the bathroom, or the oppressive feeling of constipation, where it seems impossible to have a normal bowel movement. These symptoms can be extremely uncomfortable and significantly impact your quality of life. When worms lodge in the intestine, they can irritate and inflame the intestinal lining, causing an imbalance in the normal function of the digestive tract. Intestinal worms interfere with the proper absorption of nutrients and can alter bowel movements. For example, if you are experiencing frequent diarrhea, this may be due to the irritation caused by the worms, which trigger an inflammatory response in the intestine and speed up intestinal transit. On the other hand, constipation can occur when the worms obstruct parts of the intestine, making it difficult for stool to pass and causing abdominal discomfort. These changes in bowel habits are not only uncomfortable, they can be signs that your body is trying to deal with an infestation that needs attention. If you are experiencing changes in your bowel movements and cannot find a clear cause, it is important to consider the possibility of intestinal worms as an underlying cause. Ignoring these symptoms can lead to a worsening of the situation, so it is essential to seek medical advice for an accurate diagnosis and appropriate treatment. Understanding how these parasites can affect your gut is essential to restoring your well-being and getting back to a healthy, comfortable life. Have you ever experienced that annoying itch in your anal area and not known exactly what to do? It can be a really uncomfortable and embarrassing situation, and when itching appears, especially at night, it can seriously affect your quality of life. This itchy sensation can be more than just an irritation. It can be a sign of intestinal worms, particularly a pinworm infection, which is one of the most common causes of this symptom. Imagine the frustration of not being able to sleep well because the itching won't let you rest. The intense discomfort can start to appear mainly at night when you are trying to rest. This behavior is typical of pinworms, small worms that are known to cause anal itching. They move and feed in the area around the rectum, and their activity is most noticeable at night, when you are more relaxed and the irritation becomes more noticeable. The itching can be intense and constant, to the point of becoming a constant worry and a source of stress. This symptom can make you feel embarrassed and uncomfortable, directly impacting your well-being and your daily activities. It is difficult to stay focused at work or enjoy leisure time when you are dealing with this type of irritation. In addition, the presence of worms can cause more associated symptoms, such as inflammation and redness in the affected area, which makes the situation even more uncomfortable. If you are experiencing this, it is essential to seek medical help to identify the exact cause and start the appropriate treatment. Anal itching can be a sign that your body is dealing with an infestation that needs to be treated to restore your quality of life. By recognizing and treating the cause of your itching, you can find relief and get back to feeling comfortable and healthy. Feeling constantly tired and lacking energy can be a huge challenge, especially when you can't pinpoint the cause of your unexplained tiredness. This type of persistent fatigue can be more than just a consequence of poor sleep or excessive stress. It can be a sign that your body is fighting an intestinal worm infestation. When worms invade your digestive tract, they compete for the nutrients you consume. These parasites feed on the very resources your body needs to stay energized and healthy. As a result, you may begin to experience a lack of adequate absorption of essential vitamins and minerals. A deficiency in these nutrients can lead to a constant state of fatigue, where you feel drained even after resting. In addition, the presence of worms triggers an inflammatory response in the body. This inflammation can overwhelm the immune system and divert energy that would normally be used for other vital functions. The combination of the lack of nutrients and the inflammatory response can profoundly affect your overall well-being, leaving you feeling weak, unmotivated, and lacking in energy. Fatigue caused by worms can impact every area of your life. It's hard to stay focused at work, enjoy time with family, or even carry out daily activities when you're constantly feeling tired and unmotivated. If you're experiencing unexplained and persistent feelings of fatigue, it's important to consider the possibility of intestinal worms as an underlying cause. When it comes to intestinal worms, the symptoms can vary greatly depending on the specific type of worm causing the problem and the severity of the infestation. While some symptoms are well known, such as abdominal pain and diarrhea, others can be less obvious and harder to identify. This can make the situation even more confusing and worrying for those experiencing it. For example, in addition to common symptoms such as anal itching and changes in bowel habits, you may also begin to notice less frequent but equally significant symptoms. Fever may occur as your body's response to the presence of worms. When your immune system is fighting an infestation, it may trigger a fever as a way of trying to neutralize the parasites. This fever may be low-grade but persistent, and is a sign that your body is fighting something. Skin rashes are another less common symptom that may indicate a worm infestation. These rashes may appear due to the body's inflammatory response, or as a result of the worms migrating out of the digestive tract to affect other parts of the body. Although less frequent, these rashes can be uncomfortable and visibly disturbing, further compounding your overall discomfort. In addition to these signs, you may also experience other symptoms, such as changes in appetite or changes in the color of your skin and stool. These variations in symptoms may indicate that the infestation is more severe or that the worms are affecting different parts of your body. It is essential to pay attention to any new or unusual symptoms you may be experiencing, as they can provide important clues as to the severity of the infestation. When you start to notice symptoms like abdominal pain, anal itching, or unexplained fatigue, it's natural to try to manage the situation at home, hoping it will get better on its own. However, it's crucial to understand that these signs could be signs of an intestinal worm infestation, and the best way to treat the problem is with the guidance of a healthcare professional. Seeing a doctor if you suspect you have intestinal worms is essential. While it may be tempting to ignore the symptoms or try home remedies, an accurate diagnosis and appropriate treatment are essential to effectively managing an infestation. Worm infestations can range from mild to severe, and a doctor can identify the specific type of worm and the extent of the infestation through detailed examinations. Tests usually include stool tests, which can reveal the presence of eggs or adult worms, and blood tests, which help to check the body's inflammatory response. In some cases, your doctor may even order imaging tests, such as ultrasounds, to visualize the presence of worms in less accessible places. These procedures are necessary to confirm the presence of worms and to understand the severity of the infestation, ensuring that you receive the most effective treatment possible. Treatments for intestinal worms can vary, depending on the type of parasite and the severity of the infestation. Your doctor will prescribe specific antiparasitic medications that are designed to eliminate the worms from your system. In addition, medical advice can help prevent reinfestation by providing tips on how to maintain good hygiene and prevent exposure to worms. Ignoring symptoms or trying home remedies can lead to complications and prolonged discomfort. Therefore, If you are experiencing symptoms that may indicate intestinal worms, seeing a doctor is the best way to get an accurate diagnosis and start the appropriate treatment. Taking proper care of your health will not only alleviate symptoms but also protect your overall well-being in the long run. Medical follow-up will ensure that you receive the correct treatment and can get back to feeling well again, without the worries and discomfort that these parasites can cause. Staying free from intestinal worms doesn't have to be an impossible challenge. With a few simple practices and healthy habits, you can significantly reduce your risk of infection and ensure that your digestive system stays in tip-top shape. It's about transforming small, everyday precautions into a powerful line of defense against these pesky parasites. The first and perhaps most important measure is to maintain good personal hygiene. Washing your hands regularly, especially before eating and after using the bathroom, is crucial. Intestinal worms can be transmitted through contact with contaminated surfaces, so getting into the habit of washing your hands thoroughly can be one of the most effective ways to prevent them. In addition, it's essential to ensure that food is thoroughly cooked. Worms and their eggs can often be found in raw or undercooked meat and fish. Thoroughly cooking food to safe temperatures not only kills worms and their eggs, but also kills other pathogens that can cause illness. Avoid eating foods of questionable origin and always practice proper hygiene and food preparation. Another important tip is to avoid contact with sources of contamination, such as water and food that may be exposed to feces or unclean environments. If you are traveling to places where sanitary conditions may not be ideal, take extra care with what you eat and drink. Using filtered water and avoiding raw or undercooked foods in unfamiliar environments can reduce your risk of infection. Maintaining healthy habits also includes regular exercise and a balanced diet. A strong immune system and a healthy digestive tract are less susceptible to worm infections. Eating a diet rich in fiber and nutrients can help keep your digestive system functioning well, which is crucial to preventing the spread of parasites. By incorporating these practices into your daily routine, you will not only protect yourself from intestinal worms, but you will also contribute to better overall health. Taking care of your hygiene, ensuring proper food preparation, and maintaining healthy habits are simple but effective steps to avoid health problems related to worms. If you follow these guidelines, you will be taking a big step toward ensuring that your health remains intact and free from parasitic infections.